Morning, so we're now on episode 7, and any eagle-eyed viewers might be able to spot there are some Skyline calipers in there now. So the other day I removed the 307 upgrade and finally pulled my finger out my arse and got these actually fitted on. So just bedding in the pads at the moment, and they're not been too bad. And I've got my homemade AN braided lines in there, all the fittings from Torx UK. But anyway, let's get back on track and actually try and make some ponies out of this thing to go back into that thing. Okay, so now it's time to assemble the pistons. Now, just a note, if you look just there, you can see that each ring actually has a marking for top, which is corresponding to the crown of the piston. Now, we'll start off with the oil control ring here. I'm not sure if this is the official way of doing it, but what I like to do is just disassemble it first. Gently slot the sprung side out and thread that down. Now the oil control ring itself is actually very delicate, so that's why we're not using our piston ring pliers here. Now it's important to note where the spring opens up on the back has to face opposite this opening here. So I've pointed that directly to the back of the piston, and I'm now going to gently open this out and feed it onto the piston. So he says. And there we go, that's the first one on. Right, so the second piston ring here I've preset into the pliers. We've just let a little bit of overhang because we want to open these out as little as possible. So again, just gently open them out, minimum required to push them on. Fucking hate doing these. Then gently feed it down onto the piston. Like so. And to finish off, the first compression ring. Go on, you bastard. And there we go. Right, and then what you want to do is line all your piston ring gaps up so you've got fuck all compression. Now, I'm just fucking with you. So what you've actually got to do here is you've got to set them evenly 120 degrees apart. So each opening is actually staggered away from the next opening. That way it will give maximum compression and maximum sealant across the rings on the piston. Right, so then to finish off, you're just going to check for float actually on the rings in their slots with a feeler gauge. And you just want to gently push the ring into the back of its housing like that, and then just try and slot the feeler blade in there to check. So they've actually given you your maximum valuation of 0.2. So I'm just currently degreasing these conrods and everything at the moment. I've been marinating them in oil because they've been in storage for the last year or so. Now you want to pay special attention and just make sure there's absolutely no debris, no dust, no shit on any of these surfaces. So just clean everything up. Got my brake cleaner down there and I'm just whizzing through that at the moment. So the next hot topic seems to be whether you should oil your gudgeon pins with engine oil or whether you should use an assembly lube. Now, most of the debates I've seen have always ended up with use a good quality assembly lube. So I've got some Royal Purple here. It's about the best I've heard of in the UK. And we're just going to give everything a pre-grease. So how much is too much, I hear you say? Well, at the end of the day, it will only take what it can take. Any excess will be pushed out around the edges, which isn't going to hurt anything. And this assembly lube is designed to emulsify with engine oil. So, if anything, all you're giving it is just a first start-up protection. Just so you're not running anything dry there. Right, so that's everything gently pushed in. And then we've just got to reinstate this circlip back in there to retain the gudgeon pin. Now I'm just going to disappear for a second because this shit's going to get fiddly with some lubey fingers. Right, so just like that, the clip is back in. I've gently used the screwdriver just to push it down and make sure it's located into that recessed ring, which will stop it falling out into the engine. So just like that, we've got forged rods on the 4-banger Xud9te pistons. So up next, I'm going to be cleaning the block out and preparing that for the crank to go in. But for today, guys, I am going to call that it. So cheers for watching, and I'll catch you later.